I did already start filming this video today, but I just had to pause to go and get my washing and now I've lost my train of thought, so I'm just going to start again. Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about something that is a very important part of any teenagers / young adult's life, and that is alcohol and being surrounded by people that are very into the alcohol culture, and specifically my experience with spending most of my time sober and not actually drinking. Just wanted to start off with a couple of disclaimers. Firstly, I said in my 50 facts about me video that I don't drink. That is not strictly true, because there are some times that obviously that I do decide that I am in a comfortable place and I do want to have a drink and it is fun and enjoyable, but for the majority of the time I don't, so that's why I say that I don't drink, because it's just easier. And two, I'm not trying to tell you not to drink or judge you for whatever you choose to do. Again, this is just my personal experience. I just thought I'd share my opinions with you, because being a sober fresher isn't really something that you come across very often. So a little bit of background about why I don't really drink that much, and that is basically because when it goes back to house parties from growing up and being a young teenager, around like 14, 15, when everyone's like starting to get into alcohol, there tend to be just a divide in the type of people at a party. The ones who would get absolutely paralytically drunk and not be able to walk and be vomiting everywhere, and then the people who were sober. And just because I didn't really fancy getting to that state, I'd always opt to go sober, and most of the time I just sort of pretended I was drunk because it was fun to act that stupid like the people around me, even though I personally hadn't drunken anything. So I spent a lot of my teenage years at house parties not actually drinking and just completely having a ball without the need to use alcohol as like a confidence booster. I think that sort of comes from my experience dancing growing up. I've always loved music and actually just going wild on the dance floor, and even though I'm shy, I'm quite extroverted. I love talking to people, so I think everybody gets like that when they're drunk anyway, so I don't really need alcohol to get me to do that. So yeah, basically I don't need alcohol to have a good time or enjoy a party to its full potential. And also I kind of, in terms of my anxiety and things I panic about, I like being in control, and the thought of not being in control of myself is quite scary for me, especially coming over to university and not really knowing what's going on. So it was just a lot safer for me to remain sober and aware of my surroundings. And then the final factor is of course cost, because alcohol is expensive, so when you're on a student budget you kind of make your sacrifices, and alcohol was one of the ones that I chose. So coming to university, I sort of in freshers thought there's not really anyone else that is sober or doesn't like to drink, so I would have a couple of drinks, would get to like a giggling point, but then not really want any more. And I realised that there was a strong correlation, especially on nights out, between me having a panic attack and having to leave and when I would drink alcohol. And I think this is because I don't like not being in control or not knowing what's going on, and being in a brand new city is scary enough, and let alone if you don't really know what you're doing / what's going on. And because I'm such a young one in the year, my birthday's in July, I'd only ever been clubbing once before I came to university, so this was just something that was totally new to me, and I wanted to be like present and experience it just so I got used to it and built up my confidence that way. I know not everyone's the same. A lot of people say that alcohol actually helps their anxiety, but just for me it just made it a bit worse, so I thought it made sense to step away for a bit. Then after exams finished last Friday, I decided that I did want to have a night out where I was drinking, just to sort of see how it went, and I was with a group of people that I was totally comfortable with. I said to them actually that I tend not to drink if I'm not completely comfortable around people, so they were like, yeah, we've got the Charlotte upgrade, she's comfortable around us now, which was, we made a joke about it, but it's totally true. Like I probably won't drink if I'm not completely comfortable with the situation and my surroundings. So shout out to Flat 801 for making me feel at home and comfortable. So that ended up being a really, really nice night out, and I really enjoyed myself. So it was a positive experience for that. I'm just, at this point in time, just sort of going to see how I feel on the day. I'm more than happy to not drink. Occasionally I might decide that I want to, but again, it's like, see how the budget's going, see how I'm feeling, see what I have to do the next day. I'm just really going to play it by ear and see how I go. But I thought I'd give you a summary of pros and cons of drinking versus not drinking at university, just as like a little summary of what I found. So the pros of not drinking, as I've mentioned, are you can have total use of the next day and you're not like dying in bed. It costs less, which is a big thing if you're on a student budget. So I only had to worry about my entry to the club, which is usually between £5 and £10 depending on where I'm going. I don't have to worry about expensive drinks. And number three, which might not be an important thing to some people, but you actually get to like remember everything. You can cherish those memories of dancing like a lunatic with your friend and remember it the next day. I don't know, I've never got to the point where I've forgotten anything when I'm drunk. It's just, I don't know, memories a bit skew, or it's not quite the same. In terms of cons, there are a couple I've picked up. Firstly, prees is just a bit meh. Like, a lot of people will meet at like 9, half 9 and drink for a few hours before we actually get to the club. It's usually really fun, especially with this group of people that I've been out with a lot recently. We play a lot of games and just chatting, playing music, and it's so much fun. But it's kind of, the point of it is defeated if you're not drinking. I feel like it's just not as enjoyable. If I don't drink, I'm just kind of sitting, waiting until it gets to like 11:30 and then I actually go out. So yeah, prees are a bit dead. The second thing is, it's not so much of a problem, but you do kind of have to explain yourself to people. If people say, oh, you're not drinking, why? You have to sort of come up with an answer. So my answer was always about the correlation between my panic attacks and alcohol. So people were like, yeah, fair enough. But I don't know, people are just curious because it's not really the done thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing because, again, yeah, people are just curious, and it's nice to see a different way of doing things and for people to get a different perspective. And also, it's usually not that difficult to deal with. It's just people asking the question, you've got to answer it, and then they'll usually just leave you alone, say like, fair enough, and then you're on doing your own thing. So they're the only two that really came to the top of my head. So I guess that means there's more pros than cons, but that might just be my biased opinion. But actually being sober as a fresher isn't that weird. There are far more people than you may think. That might be for a variety of reasons, whether it be religious reasons, health reasons, they just don't really enjoy it. That's another thing that I will add to my story, is that I don't actually like the taste of a lot of alcohol. I really like gin and tonic, and that tends to be what I drink, and that's pretty much it. But I'm quite fussy. I don't like things too sweet, I don't like things too dry, I absolutely hate beer. I'm quite fussy, basically. I found gin and tonic and I like that, which is quite safe as well. It means I don't mix drinks. So I feel like I'm just waffling on and adding points for no reason here. Oh yeah, two of my really close friends, they both don't drink, and we kind of initially bonded over that. That was like, they're like, oh, you don't drink, neither do I, blah, blah, blah. And now we're really, really close friends. We didn't bond because we don't drink, it's just there are other things we have in common, but we enjoy not drinking together, if that makes sense. So yeah, not only do I have friends that I can comfortably drink with, I also have friends that I can comfortably be sober with, which is like the best of both worlds. Not everyone's going to be that lucky, but also similarly, if you don't want to drink, there is more than likely going to be someone closer than you think who shares that opinion, so you don't have to be alone. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it wasn't too waffly. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will look forward to seeing you very soon. I feel like I haven't stood up and filmed a video in ages, and I'm really excited to get back into it. I had a bit of a break because of exams, so that's why things were a bit slow on my channel, but I'm ready to get back into it with term 2, so stay tuned for more exciting videos. Okay, that's all I'm going to say for now, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!